think it's time to talk about my $20,000 night in Las Vegas. Okay. So this happens a few years ago. This is, it was the year that I turned 21, because obviously you have to be 21 to do things in Las Vegas. That is the legal age at which you can participate in the things that Las Vegas is known for, which are drinking and gambling. I had turned 21 a few months before that. Now in Canada, you can be 18 and drink and gamble and stuff. So I am not a newbie to drinking or gambling by any means. I've been doing it for 3 years already in Canada, because I was 18, obviously. So me and my entire family, so my mom, my dad, my sister, and at the time, were we married? We were married. Me and my wife were married already. So my wife. So my mom, my dad, my sister, me, my wife. We're all in Vegas. And me and my wife, we're walking down the strip, and there's this guy who he's like got a nice red t-shirt on, and he's got like a little company logo, and he's like, hey, you guys look young. You guys look like you want to have a good time in Vegas. Come over here. I've got like a package for you. So he ends up talking to us. He's like, listen, we're a part of this worldwide like party company. We put like parties together and people get together, and it ends up being cheaper than if you just went out to the club by yourself. Like if you buy this package, we take you to 3 different bars and you get to drink, you get free drinks at each of the bars. And you don't have to wait in line. We've got VIP access. So we go from one bar to the next one to the next one. You hang out with us all night. It's a really good time. So we're like, okay, I can't remember how much it was. It was like $100 per person or something like that. And you got free drinks at each of the bars. It seemed like a really good deal to us, because drinking is very expensive in Las Vegas if you're doing it like one drink at a time. It was a great deal. It was an awesome deal. So we decided to do that. And I think it was the second night that we were there was the night we decided to go for this party thing. So that was the first day we run into this guy. Then the next night is the night that we're going out to party. So we go, we meet up at this bar, and it's important to note, okay, so it's me and my wife, and my mom decided to come. And my mom's not huge into partying, but my mom was like, it'd be kind of fun to go to see some of the clubs, and she's not going to drink. She's just going to be there and hang out with me and my wife. Me and my wife will drink, but at least she'll be there. She'll be like relatively sober and can help us out if we need it. So that was good. We get to the first bar, and we get there, and they've got some drinking games. They've got like Jenga and beer pong and stuff like that. And so we're drinking, we're having a good time. I think we got one free drink there, and I bought a drink. My wife maybe also bought a drink. And this is just where everybody meets up. So like nobody is drunk yet. Everybody's had like 1 or 2 drinks maximum. And then we decide to leave that bar and go to the second bar for the night. Everything is walking distance. So we all just walk as one big group, just a pack of drunk young adults. And we're not all drunk yet, but it's just a pack of drinking young adults moving from one bar to the next. We go to this next bar, and this next bar is where shit hit the fan. Okay. This next bar is where it goes insane. So we get to this bar, and they have an all you can drink wristband. So you pay like $20, and as long as you're at that bar, and we were planning on staying at that bar for like, I think 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours. So it was a significant portion of the night that we were staying there. You can drink as much as you want. You go up to the bartender, you say, I want another drink, and you show them the wristband. An incredible deal. So me and my wife both get this wristband, and we're drinking. They're providing free booze already. We've got this unlimited drink wristband. I'm drinking rum and Coke. Okay, so anytime you ask somebody how much they had to drink, they're always like, I just had a few drinks. I didn't drink that much, right? I want to say that I probably drank shots, because I was drinking rum and Cokes. So they put 1 or 2 shots in your rum and Coke, depending on what you ask for. I was probably asking for doubles, and I probably drank 6 or 7 double rum and Cokes in about 2 hours. That is a lot of alcohol. If you don't know anything about alcohol, that is quite a lot of alcohol in 2 hours. What I will say is I was a seasoned veteran at drinking a lot of alcohol at the time. And so it wasn't unreasonable for me to ask for that much alcohol. Okay, we'll just say it wasn't unreasonable to ask for that much alcohol. We're drinking for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, give or take, somewhere around there. And by the end of it, I'm feeling it. Me and my wife are both feeling it. And my mom is there, and my mom has had like a couple sips of each of our drinks. Nothing crazy. Like, she isn't drinking almost at all. We then, I want to say it's like 11 o'clock at night, give or take. We then leave that bar to go to like the high-end club. I can't remember what the name of the club. I think it's Omnia. It's inside like Caesar's Palace. It's like this really good, like high-end club. Okay, so we leave that bar. I remember leaving that bar. I don't remember waiting in line to get into the club. Okay. So I'm going to explain to you what happened. This is from my mom telling me what happened after this. And then I'll let you guys know when I remember again. We leave the first bar. I remember leaving. I don't remember getting to the next bar and standing in line. Me and my wife are standing in line with my mom and the group of people. We're standing in line because there's a bit of a line with the party group that we're at, but we don't have to wait in the general admittance line. When we get up to the line, the bouncer looks at me and my wife and says, "You two are too drunk. You are not allowed in," and like kicks us out. So I start kind of freaking out. I'm like, I want to get in, but I'm not putting up too much of a fuss because I'm too drunk to do anything. So I just like stumble away. And my mom is like kind of upset because she wanted to go and see this inside of this club, but she couldn't. So I don't know exactly what happened to me at that point. I think I threw up. If I'm remembering correctly, I threw up like at the Circle. There's like a bar outside of the club. I think I threw up there. My wife went to the bathroom and passed out in the bathroom. And when she passed out and I started throwing up, I think it was the bartender who, I don't know who it was, but somebody told my mom to call 911. So 2 separate ambulances come, one for my wife, one for me. We both end up getting taken by ambulance to one of the hospitals in Las Vegas. I don't remember any of this. We get to the hospital. My wife is, I believe my wife is pretty coherent, and they're asking her some questions. They're asking me questions like, how old am I? What year is it? I am not responding to the questions that they're asking me. At one point, I'm like laying down beside my wife. They're like, "Do you know where you are? Do you know who this is?" I'm like, I don't know who I am. I don't know who's beside me. I don't know what year it is. They asked me how much money a quarter was worth, and I told them I can't do math right now. I don't know what's going on. We were in the hospital for, I think we got into the hospital around 11:30, and we were out of the hospital around 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. And then I remember getting into the taxi and going home to where we were staying in Las Vegas. Okay. I'm a complete blank in my memory of about 5.5, 6 hours of time. No recollection. Zero. I'm standing in line at a bar, or like I'm walking to the next bar, and then I wake up in a taxi cab. I have no idea what happened. Okay. My wife, when she passed out, had an out-of-body experience. She was standing over herself when she was passed out in the bathroom. The next day, I'm kind of like talking with, so obviously you go to the hospital in the United States, they charge you for going to the hospital. So I needed to call my travel insurance. I needed to call my regular insurance. I needed to get bills from the hospital. The 6-hour visit for being in the hospital between me and my wife, for both of us, was $20,000. $20,000 for 6 hours in the hospital. The other thing is, which is very interesting, they didn't drug test either of us when we got into the hospital. Now, I woke up the next morning, no hangover, nothing. My wife had a hangover, but it's very common for her to have like 1 or 2 drinks and be hungover. And she drank quite a bit, so she had a hangover the next morning. I woke up the next morning and felt 100% perfectly fine, like I hadn't been drinking the night before. I'd been drinking quite a bit. Like I said, I can handle my liquor. I'd been drinking a lot, but they didn't drug test us when we were in the hospital. Both my wife and I believe, still to this day, you could not convince me otherwise, that we were both drugged at the second bar. I don't think the bartender did it. I think somebody else in the party group drugged me and my wife. And because my mom was there, nothing really bad happened. But it has never happened since then. It never happened before where I have blacked out for over 10 minutes drinking, right? If you guys have had drinks before, you guys know that like you kind of like black in, black out, right? You're like, I'm here and then I'm not here. And like the next morning, you could remember bits and pieces of where you went and stuff. There's literally 6 hours. And also, if you're drunk, you don't have out-of-body experiences, right? Like nobody's having an out-of-body experience looking over themselves when they're drunk. That is why both my wife and I believe that we were drugged and they didn't drug test us. Okay? That's my theory. I don't know. I mean, I have no way of proving that. Anyways, the post story of this story of my $20,000 night in Vegas, the post game commentary of that is it took me well over a year of dealing with insurance and the hospitals in the US to pay everything off. I ended up not having to pay any money technically to the hospital, but they did end up getting paid some amount of money from my insurance. I don't know if they got paid the full $20,000 that it was supposed to be, but my insurance ended up sending me a letter like a year and a half later being like, if they call you, we have paid them. Do not answer their phone calls anymore. Your tab has been cleared by the insurance. So the moral of the story is my travel insurance. Oh, okay. Here's another part of the story. Wait, I almost forgot this. I had 2 sets of insurance when I was over there. One set of insurance was specifically travel insurance. So it's what you get when you go to another country. You're like, I need travel insurance because if I get hurt here, I need to pay for it. That did not cover me in the hospital or my wife because there was a clause in the insurance policy that anything related to drinking or alcohol, anything at all, okay? I want you guys to understand this. Anything at all caused by drinking or alcohol, if I had fallen off of the curb and snapped my arm in half, it would not be covered by the travel insurance because I was drunk. 0 coverage. But I had insurance through where I worked at the time that had a separate branch for travel insurance, and that job with that travel insurance covered me and my wife because she was under the same policy. So it was crazy. It was such a crazy night because and here's the thing, it's not like I was getting progressively more drunk and then like blacked out. It was like I was totally fine. I was obviously feeling it. I was buzzed. I was having a good time. And then my brain shut off. I blacked out for 6 hours and then I woke up again. And like I said, I wasn't hungover. I didn't have any hangover. My wife did. They gave us some fluids in the hospital and stuff, but I 100% still to this day believe that we were drugged. We were drugged. You can't convince me otherwise. Yeah, we didn't get kidnapped. That was good. God. Could have been a very different story if my mom wasn't there. I got a cool mom. She decided to come out clubbing with us and it ended up saving us because neither of us got kidnapped.